we didn't get to the number that you wanted to get at, that you might consider these other items after the fact. It's just kind of backwards, that's all I'm saying. What do you think about these that have been presented?
The motion on the floor is regarding the assistant principal at BCMS, just to keep us on
task. I'm asking the question. I'm curious from the maker of the motion what he feels.
I believe at the beginning I said mine would be in addition to these. I've already looked at these. I do my homework before I come.
Yeah.
I support these cuts. We need to make cuts. It's reality of the situation we're in. Mine are in addition because we still, with administration's cuts, we're still at $160,491 that needs to be reduced. So mine was in addition to that amount to bring us below.
I see. All right, thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'm going to bring the motion to reduce the VCMS principal, assistant principal for $125,805. All in favor? I show one in favor, all opposed? And that motion has failed. 5-0. Okay, the second motion is on an assistant principal at Rockville High School for $113,205. Is there any debate on this motion? Seeing none, I'm going to bring that motion to a vote. All in favor of reducing assistant principal Rockville High School for $113,205, signify by saying aye, or show of hands, aye, and opposed. And that motion fails also. Okay, PD 360 for 49.
Point of order. Is it appropriate procedurally to move to table the remaining two items until after we've gone through the items presented by staff?
We made the motion to divide. We can make a motion to table, and if you can get a second.
I'll make a motion to table the remaining two items that Will has presented until after consideration of the items presented by staff.
Second motion to table and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion to table?
I'm not sure you can table with a motion. You can table the discussion, but you can't ignore the motion that's on the floor. So we already have a motion and it was divided, so we have 4 motions to deal with. So I don't think that you can simply decide at that point to table the motions.
Well, they're bifurcated, well, what's the word?
They're separate.
They're separated into 4 separate entities, and I think procedurally we can. I just was wondering what the chair's feeling is.
We've taken this action in the past. That's why I'm allowing the motion to table, because we have done that. And
so if the motion to table passes, then the other motion just goes away?
We'd have to untable to be able to bring.
I'm just wondering. Okay.
The motion is to table action on those next two items.
And the motion goes away.
It's tabled until we take it off the table. If we vote to table. So I have a motion from Mr. Kemp, second by Mrs. Fisher. Further discussion on the motion table? Seeing none, I'm going to bring the motion to a table. Further discussion for the next 2 motions. All in favor? Got 3. All opposed? I got 3, and I'll break the tie to make it so that we'll table until we take other action. So that is on the table. Those are tabled. Sorry.
I'm wondering, Dr. Conway, if the tuition, the suggested tuition non-public reduction of $125,000, is that real based on numbers that are different now than when originally the budget was put together? So this would hurt nobody.
Correct.
Then I move to reduce the budget by $125,000 from the numbers, Mr. Picard?
55820.
Okay.
Is that a second on that motion?
Yes, that's a second.
Motion and a second. Discussion on the motion. Seeing that, I'm going to bring that item to a vote, and that is to reduce $125,000 from the tuition non-public 55820. All in favor? And that's unanimous. I'm sorry.
Is the same true for special ed at Skinner Road School? That that's a result of change in numbers? That I move to reduce that budget item 51114 by $69,000.
I have a motion from Mrs. Arndt, and I have a second by Mrs. Fisher. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, I'm going to bring that motion to a vote by a show of hands. All in favor? Those opposed? Abstain?
In favor, agreed.
You abstaining?
No, I'm in favor.
You're in favor. It's unanimous. Mrs. Arndt.
The grade 3 to 4 at Center Road School, 51113, is that the same circumstance, or is that a reduction in staff to meet our budget obligation?
That was actually
Yes.
Thank you for the chair. That was a reduction the board had actually considered when the board was reducing the budget a while ago. And Mrs. Poglich and the one at Northeast School as well, Mrs. Green, had asked the board to reconsider that because of the makeup of the population, and they were trying to keep this particular population smaller. But the numbers, certainly, without knowing who the students are, the numbers say that we can go down in both of those schools.
Then I'll move to reduce 51113 at Center Road and Northeast School in the amount of $138,000.
A motion to reduce Center Road School and Northeast School 5113 for, was that number 138? 138. And is there a second? Mr. Kemp? A motion and a second. Discussion on that motion. Ms. Fisher.
I'd just like to ask, what will the class sizes be if we were to take this out?
If memory serves me, they fall within the guidelines of the policy because they're advancing into the 4th and 5th grade, the existing population of 3rd graders. And it's consistent with what we would be doing in other elementary schools as well for those grades.
Dr. Ellis, through the chair, in Center Road School, grade 4 would be 22.5, so there'd be classes of 22 and classes of 23. At Northeast School, it would be 2 classes of 25 in the 4th grade.
Any other discussion, Mrs. Bush?
I'm very uncomfortable with going to 25. I understand it's within the guidelines, but we were advised by the principal that there are behaviors, and I understand that teachers should be able to handle it, but 25, when you have behaviors in the classroom, I could not support going up that high of a number.
Other discussion? Ms. Shaw.
I agree more on this. I didn't know the numbers. I'd like to amend my motion to a reduction in 51113 of $69,000 at Center Road School.
And is the seconder in agreement with that motion?
Yeah.
The seconder is in agreement with reducing it to $69,000 from Center Road School. The motion is now amended. And Mrs. Fisher.
We reduced 3 elementary teachers before we even sent the budget to now where, I thought that's what we already did with the Center Road one. That's why I'm kind of confused.
We actually have grade 4 to 5 at Center Road, which was reduced. That puts the classes at Center Road in grade 5 at 24.6, which is obviously 25. Lake Street School, it moves the grade 5 as well to 2 classes of 25. And Skinner Road School, grade 5 would be at 2 classes of 21.
Thank you. Other discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'm going to bring that motion to a vote to reduce 5113, $69,000 at Center Road School. All in favor by show of hands? Those opposed? I show one opposed, Mr. Nicholson, and the motion does pass. And other actions. Mrs. Fisher?
Questions about some of these items? Eliminating the dance coach, does that mean there will be no dance team now?
I think, if I recall, Mr. Bain was not able to make it here this evening, that we were down to 5 students. It used to be quite a large group, and they were down to 5 or less students, and so yes, it would eliminate dance.
Another one I can't find. The student management system, that would mean we would stay with the iPass system, being
That's
one of
correct.
2 towns in the whole state with it.
That's correct.
And the social studies teacher at Rockville High, that sounds like that we could do that without hurting any students?
That was based on class, class sizes and looking at all of the departments overall. The social studies department had the lowest class sizes in all of the areas, elective and non-elective and core.
And do you have an estimate about what the class sizes would go up to if we lost a teacher?
Between 20 and 22.
Then I'd move that we make that reduction. 5113, $69,000 social studies teacher.
I have a motion by Mrs. Fisher and a second by Mrs. Arndt. Does anybody wish to speak to that motion? Seeing none, I'm going to bring that motion to a vote by show of hands. All in favor? And that's unanimous. Ms. Arndt, you have the floor.
Through you, Mr. Chair, to Dr. Conway, the central no, that's not the one. Central supply, reduction of $20,000. What, can you explain that?
And if I may turn that to Mr. Picaro, that was his line item, as you recall, Mr. Picaro.
To the chair, general reduction of custodial supplies, and inventory supplies and so forth.
Is that, just to clarify, is that a risk that you're taking, or that, no? And I'd like to move to reduce account 56440 central supply for $20,000.
I have a motion. Do I have a second on the motion? Ms. Fisher. Motion is second. Is there any dialogue on the motion? Seeing none, I'm going to call the motion to a vote by show of hands. All in favor? That's unanimous. Ms. Fisher, firstly, then Mrs. Fisher.
On the extended day transportation, we don't have, we put that in the budget, but we didn't have plans for that yet, correct?
Correct.
And I moved to remove that line item.
So there's motion to remove the extended day for $25,000. Is there a second on that? Ms. Fisher, or, sorry, Mrs. Arnold.
Second.
And is there any discussion on that motion? Okay, all in favor by show of hands? That's unanimous. Ms. Bush.
I'd like to move that we cut the assistant track coach, 51117, also the dance coach in the same, and the assistant cheerleading coach. Someone would add that up for me. Extracurriculars and what?
2747.
8255.
That's $8,255, and there's a second by Mrs. Fisher. Any discussion on that motion to reduce the assistant track coach, dance coach, and assistant cheerleading coach? Mrs. Arnold.
I'll just say, I know that it's not significant dollars, but I'm not quite ready to go to where, certainly not where education is concerned, and I'm just not ready to go to that place that may impact students as well. So I'm going to not support it at this time.